Hi guys, it's Thomas from Finite again, and today's recap will be very short. I got two trades, both of them unfortunately losers, but both of them were according to plan, so it really doesn't bother me. It would bother me much more if I lost breaking the plan. It would bother me, well, probably less if I won losing the plan, but nevertheless, you shouldn't be breaking your plan at any cost, because it's usually because of some fear of missing out, or you're pressured to, let's say, get out of a drawdown, which I think I made a good point and a good approach with my previous videos, so-called recovery plan. So yeah, today was just a standard losing day, and overall, I don't have any negativity coming out of today. So let's take a look at how the S&P was trading. So it gapped over this whole area, basically validating this as a swing low after breaking this swing high. So from purely technical standpoint, this was a really nice and strong bull setup. However, as we know, S&P is a little bit more extended in face of the things that are happening in the world. So US has already over 1 million COVID cases. So it was reasonable to expect it to drop down, but you could have said that many times during those 4 rising days. So it all comes down to the technical formations, and that you should always trade what you see, not what you think. My colleague made a very good video. You can check it out in our channel. So S&P started right there and then pulled back a little bit, but overall consolidated for the first 25 minutes or so. And my first trade was in CNK this morning, and my trade was up there with buying price of 14.47, so at the break of this candle with a little bit of slippage. So if you recall the S&P graph, you would find that the CNK was actually much stronger than the market, and that this was a pretty good long setup. Overall, if you take a look at the daily, it was gapping over this area of resistance, and from the range point of view, it still had plenty to go to at least 15. So that was my idea. And unfortunately, then the S&P started to break down, and CNK eventually gave in. So nothing wrong there. Moving on. Taking a look again at the S&P, it continued like this, and my second trade was a little bit later in CCL. Again, strong stock coming out today, breaking all those highs. If we take a closer look here, this is like a U-shaped bottom, which is very nice technical formation as well. And so overall, really almost picture perfect setup on the daily graph. So I entered long at 14.46 this time after the break of this candle's high. You can see there is a cap and handle formation, overall a nice triangle as well. So technically this was a perfect entry, but after staying reasonably strong, the S&P just crashed down, and it was not not too soon that not too late that CCL just followed the market. So hindsight should never be used as a reason to be upset, but rather to take inspiration for your next trades. And one thing I should have been prepared to do was to reverse my position, let's say at the break of this swing low at a whole number, which was 14, and ride it down with the momentum of the S&P, because with stocks like that, usually when the upwards pressure, which the market was very clearly, or the stock rather, was very clearly ready to do, when it was overrun with the sellers, then of course all those people who bought right there, they would have had their stop losses already. So you can notice that after breaking those two lows, it immediately went about 20 cents lower. Then it hesitated a little bit at this support area, as you can see by the doji candle there. Then also crashed, and then stopped at around the low of the day, and then went even further. I'm not saying I would have caught all this momentum, but even though you can see this was a pretty big move for a stock like this, so I could have easily gotten out at least my losses. But that's hindsight. So a little bit under -2% today. Nothing crazy. Very much looking forward to tomorrow. And as always, tell me what you traded today. How was the market for you? Did you expect it to drop down, or were you surprised? So thank you guys. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.